Alright, welcome back to cooking my way through half a cow. Now on this week's episode, I'm going to be cooking the Porterhouse steak. Now I definitely don't need salad, you don't make friends with salad, so I'm going nice and simple. I'm just doing chips and steak. I'm going to be cooking those chips in the air fryer and steak on the Weber kettle outside. Okay, so now that I've got it out of the packet and on a plate, I've just drizzled with that olive oil, and now I'm just using some of that brancho from Lanes BBQ. I'm just putting it on top and I'm making sure I pat it in. Don't rub it into your steak, just make sure you always pat those dry rubs. It'll come up a whole lot better and stick to the steak or whatever you're cooking a whole lot better. Now when it comes to my chips, I'm just going to grab some wash spuds and simply cut them up into chip shapes. They don't have to be exact, they don't have to be perfect. If you like wedges, cut wedges instead. And alternatively, if you do have a packet of frozen chips in the freezer, by all means pull them out and throw them in the air fryer as well. So all I've done here is hit it with a bit of olive oil, and then I'm sprinkling it with some SPG from Lanes. Now, keep in mind that there is going to be a cooking discrepancy between your steak and your chips. So when you're using the air fryer, always throw them on a bit earlier, and it also gives a bit of time for that steak to sit, rest, and warm up to room temperature before you throw it on the barbecue. Once my chips had about 5 minutes remaining in the air fryer, I went outside and cranked that barbecue up. I preheated it before I threw my steaks on there just so that it did get that sizzle the moment it hit the barbecue. The way I cook my steak here is simply 2 minutes flipped, 2 minutes flipped, 2 minutes flipped, and that way each time I did flip it, I turned the steak as well just to get that crisscross pattern on the actual searing. That way it just looked a little bit nicer, a little bit prettier. That way when I came back inside, the chips had finished, they were sitting there, and all I had to do is slice my steak out and plate it up. Now sometimes in a relationship you do have someone who has a fault, and that one for me is my wife. She likes her steak well done. So I actually bring mine in, I had it sliced out, plated up, and hers stayed on the barbecue even though it was turned off, just to allow it to keep cooking because she did want hers well done, not medium like mine. Other than that, it came up absolutely beautiful, cooked through nicely, nice and tender, still nice and juicy, and that grass-fed steak absolutely ate incredible. I highly recommend it. If you want to give Farm to Fridge a try, head on over to their platform and place an order today, and make sure you let them know that Jared sent you.